Looking for some ways to improve your builds? Lucky for you, today I'm going to be showing you all of the build hacks that I use to help you improve your builds. Let's get right into it. The first hack is a pretty simple one that we can use right here on my starter house. We can just place some paths outside of our house here to make some mulch. So basically, as you guys can see, if I place it right here, it gets a little angry at me. So just place it outside a little bit, just like this. And you can outline your entire house. And then right when you have a floor, you just bring it inwards. And then you can paint this grass your dirt color, and you can make it look like mulch. And so as you can see, yeah, there we go. I have mulch around my house. I can do the same thing around trees as well. So yeah, so you can use this in all kinds of areas. It really helps out. This next build hack I actually got from French Rose's videos, so shout out to you, Noel. But basically, if we use a pool, and you have a pool or a pond somewhere in your build, you can actually use a transparent cube and put it over the pool. Doing this will make it be like ice. And so basically, if we paint this the granite texture, you can paint it whatever you want. If you want to get like a blue so it looks more icy, you can definitely do that. And then once you're done, all you do is you just transform it over and you scale it down just a little bit, and boom, you have ice. You can just walk right over it. It's pretty useful, I'd say. Another build hack that I've used a lot recently is custom windows. So to teach you how to make custom windows, we're just going to place a basic shape, probably somewhere right here. And then right next to it, you're always going to want to have a wall, so that way you can get a reference height. Then zoom on in here and go to the smallest grid. Make your measurement here be 0.5, or as you can see, it'll be the exact same width as this wall here. Then we're going to extend this out to 5. And boom, now you have at least a base for your wall. Then we're going to place another cube on top of it, and then we're going to make it as small as possible, and we're going to extend it out just like this a little bit. And we will make this base be just wider than our actual wall, so that way, you know, you kind of have like a bit of a windowsill. Then you should be able to place a cube right here, extend it on inwards, and then you can even move like this portion inside as well. Then we're going to extend it on up. Let's say we want it to be this tall. That's perfectly fine with me. Then we'll place a transparent cube in the middle. And this transparent cube, it doesn't matter how wide you make it. Just make sure that it's directly in the middle on this bottom cube. So that way, you know, you're in the exact same spot there. And then you can just clone this on top and get rid of all of this up here. Now you can just decorate it with beams. So since it's in the dead center, I can just place a beam right up the middle there. And I can even go to the sides of it and just place them across like this. And boom, we could really say that's a window if we wanted to call it a window. Something that I like to do is I like to resize these beams a little bit, so I won't make the ones going across that big. But you just have to experiment with that and see what you like best. You can usually paint these all like the same color, like I don't know, like a black or something. And then all you have to do is just fill in this area over here with an actual basic shape. Make sure that it's that 5 in width. Then you're just going to connect it to this wall, extend it all the way up here to the where it's like at the top of the window. That way you can just place another cube up here, make it 5 in width, and then make it the same height as the wall. And there you go. You can do a lot of custom windows just like that. This next build hack is probably my favorite one, and this is the custom roof build hack that you can get vaulted ceilings with. So I actually do have an entire tutorial. If you want a little bit more advanced custom roof tutorial, you can go watch that video. But to keep it simple here, you're just going to place walls just like this, place a floor up top, and then we can just get a cube. And to make this the best, and to make this the most effective way possible, I like to make these about 1 block at a time. So I will, if let's say I'm trying to cover up a 4 block wide thing, I will only use 1 block at a time, and I'll just clone it. You're gonna have to make a lot of adjustments here, so just be aware of that. But basically, just make 2 of them layered like this. You can make the top one your shingles, and the bottom one whatever you want your interior to be. I can just make it like a nice wood and save it as that. Then we're just going to transform it just like this, and we can just make it meet right at the middle here. So probably like what, right there? And then we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. And then after making some micro adjustments, you can just kind of attach this right up at the top, and there you go. Although if you do not like the way that this like meets here in the middle, something I would recommend to you is using a standard square beam. If you use the small one right here, you can just go right up this way, and then go right up this way. Make this really thin, and then just extend it out, probably about like this, and do the same thing on the other side. Then we can paint this whatever we want, so if I want like a metal, and yeah, there you go. It looks a lot smoother. Definitely one of the best build hacks in the game. I would highly recommend learning this one. All you have to do now is just clone it and keep doing the same micro adjustments all the way down your roof. Very, very useful. Alrighty guys, so some of the next build hacks that we use here is actually the mansard roof trick. So if I go into the basement floor here and I just place the mansard roof just like this, it makes a little hill, which I think is really cool. And as you guys can see, this is a really good example of me using these mansard roofs. This is my best friend Jojo's house. I made him back in January. So yeah, it's got all that nice mansard roofing, all that fun stuff. I would highly recommend using that. Very useful trick. Another trick that you can use is if you want to make a jet ski, you just make this white foil here, because basically how these snowmobiles work is if you make this white and then we scale it down. Oh wait, whoops, I forgot. And then we place it in our basement floor there. Sorry, Jojo doesn't own Transform Plus. I forgot I made this without Transform Plus. But basically, if we place it down here in the pool and then we place a pool, I can actually use this snowmobile as a jet ski. Let me show you how that works. Hold on guys, this is quite the hike. All right, there we go. So now we're over here at the jet ski. And as you can see, it goes around really fast compared to when it would go really slow usually. But since I use the white, it will act as if it's snow, since it's the snowmobile, but it actually works really well. So yes, I would highly recommend this one. Very fun little party trick to show off on your friends. And another tiny trick I used here on this house is actually this little roof decoration trick. So basically, if you have a peak in your roof, you can use the fireplace tools and just place them right over here. And so since basic shapes kind of operate like this, where they'll let you kind of like sink an object in, you can paint it whatever you want. If I want to paint it a black, I can definitely use that. And as you can see, it acts as like one of those like tools for your roof. And so usually people have like a bird, stuff like that up there. So you can use decals or you can just use the fireplace tools. I think it's very creative. Now this is probably one of my favorite build hacks that I like to use in cities, but you can definitely use it for houses too. And that is by making power lines. So if we place a pillar, we can just place it up, I don't know, like this. And this can be the base for our power line. So you just make it the pine cone color. And if you do not have Transform Plus, just like Jojo, but you want to make good looking power lines here, well, no need to fear, because we can use the carpet trick. So we're going to extend this cube on up here, and then we're going to place a carpet. Now we can place a cube inside of this pillar here and rotate it, and we can make it very detailed power line stuff. I'm not sure what the proper terminology is there. Typically you have like 2 rows of items here in the power line, so as long as we just place it like this, as you can see, you know, we do have a power line pole, and then we can use the structural section and make an ordinary rope go from here all the way over to the house. So we can just add some of those in, and boom, suddenly you have some power lines. How cool is that? I think it's pretty cool. Obviously you can add a lot more detail if you'd like. There's plenty of ways to do that. But for now, this is just the technique that you need. And then now this build hack was suggested by somebody on my Discord server, so make sure you go join my Discord server if you haven't already. But basically, this is an unfinished portion of your basement. So if your house has a basement, it probably is unfinished in a specific room, unless you're like really cool, then you know, you don't have to worry about that. But in this case, Jojo's not very cool, and so his basement is unfinished. So what you'd really do here is you would just place a bunch of concrete here along the walls and also on the floor. And then you can place a bunch of pillars in here and make it look like the basement is still like under construction. This would reveal a bunch of the foundation and stuff like that along the house. And so by using the burlap wood color, I think that's the most realistic one we can use. You can even go to lighting and use the individual light bulb as a nice extra addition. And then we can also make our roof here concrete as well. We can even go place some planks. So if we just use the vertical plank, you can easily just chuck it in here in some spots. And in this room would probably be somewhere where you would keep your power box at. So if I can find it, my internet sucks. Okay, there we go. You can place the power box right along that wall. Then you can probably even place some of the duct work as well. So this could be like for like piping and stuff throughout your house. So yep, that's useful. There's obviously a lot of things that you can place down here, but you guys kind of get the point. It's just a really cool little extra detail if you want to have a realistic looking basement. Alright guys, the final build hack I have for you guys is wall paneling. So basically, if we just get some wooden planks and we drag them across my wall just like this, by utilizing the transform tool, we can just readjust this plank just like this, and suddenly you'll have wall paneling along your house. So let's say you'd want to incorporate this with a window somewhere. So maybe I want to put, I don't know, a really tiny window up top. Let me find a tiny one real fast. Yeah, we can say that I have this window right here. I can just place the paneling around it just like this, and then we just rotate it back. And there you go. I think that looks really cool. Hopefully you guys can incorporate that into your builds, but yes, that is sick. Alrighty guys, that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye, everybody.